for this one. No rain in the forecast. And it's not going to be Colton Hamilton in the box. That's Jaron Hall, number 3, who's going to come into the box for Maple Mountain. Hall will step in from the right side. Hall had a home run over the weekend. And now he's going to stand in wearing number 3. We are moments away from first pitch here from Timpanogos as our first real gust of wind comes up here. Hall stands in, the kick, and the delivery home, and we're underway with the first pitch low and away for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball and no strikes, the kick and the delivery home, and that one misses just low and away, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls and no strikes, the count on Hall, the Golden Eagle leadoff hitter, and the 2-0 pitch comes home, and that just misses off the plate, and the ball goes to 3-0 to Hall. Hall is hitting that 2-hole for a good portion of the season for Maple Mountain. But now stepping in here to the leadoff spot, and the 3-0 pitch gets in there for a called strike, and it's 3-1. 3 balls and a strike, the kick and the delivery home. Bounces in the dirt ball 4, and Maple Mountain has the leadoff man on via the base on balls here. And so Jaron Hall with the good speed will go on first for the Golden Eagles. So Maple Mountain runner on, a little bit different lineup going today for Maple Mountain. So we're kind of scrambling here to get everything ready for you. And the first pitch is a called strike on the outside. No balls and 1 strike to count on the hitter for Maple Mountain, wearing number 11. Pickoff move, and Hall dives safely back to first. Cannon Minor, the hitter, number 11. No balls and 1 strike. Kick in the delivery home, bunt showed by Minor, and he pulls it back for a called strike. So Coach Gary Minor going with a little bit different lineup here today. Moving Cannon Minor up from the bottom part of the lineup when we last saw him on Saturday when we last saw him Thursday, as Minor swings and pops that one high up down the third baseline, giving it a look and a going foul there for Minor. A pitch that was a little high, but he did a good job to foul it off, and it's 0-2 to Cannon Minor. Getting everything going as quickly as we can here. Did not get lineups before the game, so we're going to try to get everything for you as quickly as we can. The pickoff move back over to first. Hall dives back safely. No balls and 2 strikes. The kick and the delivery on its way home. Minor takes, and that one's just off the outside corner. It's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count. Timpanogos, pitcher number 20, working from the stretch. Looking down my roster, I didn't have a number 20. So I'll get that for everyone as quickly as possible. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Minor set and ready to go. Kick and the delivery on its way. That one bounces in there for a ball and evens the count at 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Minor doing a good job working from behind in the count. Cade Polson in the on-deck circle for Maple Mountain. Golden Eagles trying to spark some early offense here today at Timpanogos. 2-2 pitch, a pickoff move, and Hall dives back underneath the tag. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Top 1, no score between Maple Mountain and Timpanogos. Kick, Hall going, swung on, and that one's going to be fouled back to the screen. So Hall will have to turn around and head back to first. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll redo a 2-2 pitch. Minor, pretty squared stance in the box. Hall over at first, getting some attention now after he went on the first pitch. He'll go again. Pitch swung out and missed. That one gets away from the catcher, and Hall easily down to second. And so Jaron Hall advances down to second, a strikeout, the first of the ball game. And with 1 out, that's going to bring up Cade Polson. Polson had a very good basketball season, a lot of games you saw here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. But now moving over into the baseball season where he's hitting third in the Golden Eagle lineup. Polson will be at shortstop today. Checking the runner at second, the delivery home. Polson swings and misses at that 0-1. Quick visit out to the mound here as we get everything set for you defensively here as quickly as we can for Timpanogos. Millets at third, Craighead at first, and Halford at second. No balls and a strike. The pitch comes. That's a called strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-2 to Cade Polson. Outfield for Timpanogos playing straight away. 1 down here in the inning. Hall gets his lead at second. Stepping off the rubber really quickly here, and now they'll get set. Looks in and gets the sign. The 0-2 pitch. Hall gets looked at second. Another look, and stepping off the mound as time was called. So Timpanogos concerned here with Jaron Hall on at second base. He did go and steal the second base bag just a batter ago, so good warranted there as Polson swings. Hits that one pretty well out to left. That's going to fall in front of the left fielder. Hall makes the turnaround third. He's going to score, and Maple Mountain's taking a 1-0 lead as the throw gets past the cutoff man, and Cade Polson slides into second. So the Golden Eagles strike early, an RBI single by Cade Polson. And that's the kind of offense you want when you can get your leadoff hitter on, as Hall easily was able to steal second base and comes around to score on the base hit. That extra 90 feet being very crucial there in the first. As Polson swings, hits that one pretty well out to left. That's going to fall in front of the left field. Continue the inning here for Jake Maffey. Maffey will be behind the plate for Maple Mountain today, hitting in the cleanup spot. 1 out, Cade Polson, the runner on at second base. And that one misses low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. So 1 ball and no strikes the count. Pickoff move. Polson dives back safely underneath the second base bag. Maffey stands in, had a couple of hits against Payson last Thursday. One of the bright spots in that ball game for Maple Mountain, as Maffey takes the pitch and it evens the count at 1-0. And it looks like it's the 1-0 pitch about to come, stepping off the mound. Timpanogos concerned a little bit here with the base runners on for Maple Mountain. And the Maple Mountain is a team that has good speed, so they're going to steal their bases. They're going to play aggressive, and we've seen Maple Mountain play that way here in the early going part of the season. There's a pickoff move. Polson's back standing as that throw there tried to come in back behind the runner, as it was Swick at shortstop, just kind of sneaking back in behind Cade Polson. The 1-0 pitch, a breaking ball, and that one sits right at the knees of Jake Maffey, and it makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. So a good breaking ball there, just kind of froze Maffey in what would typically be a fastball count. Timpanogos goes with the breaking ball and gets it in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 away. Checking the runner at second. The kick and the delivery home. Breaking ball, Maffey way out in front, swings and misses, and it's 2-2. So Jake Maffey there, just a little bit out in front. And now with the 2-2 pitch, you have to wonder, after 2 breaking balls, if maybe they won't go back to the fastball after changing the speeds here on Maffey. Polson gets his lead at second, goes deep into the, kind of deeper into the hole here, gets his lead. The 2-2 pitch on its way, breaking ball, that one in the dirt for ball 3, and the count goes full. So count goes full here. We'll set the Timpanogos defense for you here momentarily here after this 3-2 pitch to Jake Maffey. Pick-off move, Polson back. On the infield for Timpanogos, it's going to be Oakley Craighead at first, Connor Halford at second. Over at third base, it's going to be Braden Millett. At short today, it's going to be Zach Swick. In the outfield, Parker Murray in left. In center field, it's going to be Casey Hamilton, and in right field, it's going to be Blake Lasike. Behind the plate is going to be today Jake Brooksby, and on the mound is Tyler Cornish, number 20, the right-hander. So Maffey's able to get aboard via the walk, and now that's going to send to the plate Mitch Holmes, the first baseman. Holmes sitting in that 5 spot, and the first pitch comes home. That one misses low for a ball. Running on, Cade Polson's going to be running at second. Maffey over at first for Maple Mountain. The 1-0 pitch comes home, breaking ball, and that one sits low for a ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to count. The staff up here for Timpanogos, kind enough to go get us their lineup, so we appreciate that. Able to get everything ready to go for us here. And the 2-0 pitch on its way, and that's going to be just missing, guess a little outside, ball 3, and the count goes to 3-0. It looked like a pretty good pitch from here, but it must have just missed a little high or maybe outside. 3 balls and no strikes to count. Stepping off the mound here is Cornish. That one's going to be grounded to second, fielded by Halford. He goes to short for 1, down to first in time. A 4-6-3 double play ends the inning. The Eagles strand 2 in the top of the first. But they do get 1, and they have the lead as the Timberwolves are coming to bat here on the Spanish Fork Community Network, where it's Maple Mountain 1 and Timpanogos 0. You're watching high school baseball here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. Bottom of the first inning here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. Maple Mountain able to strike first here in this one, and now they're back in the field where they will throw right-hander Wes Childs, number 19, gets the start for the Golden Eagles. Childs came in relief and pitched pretty well against the Payson Lions, and now gets the start today against Timpanogos. And the lineup for the Timberwolves, the second baseman Connor Halford leads it off. Braden Millett, the third baseman, hits in the 2 spot. Oakley Craighead, the first baseman, will hit third. Blake Lasike in right field hitting 5th. Tyler Cornish, the pitcher, hitting 5th. Austin Favila will hit in the 6th spot. Casey Hamilton will hit in the 7th spot. Parker Murray 8th. And Zach Swick rounds out the order in hitting 9th. One of the differences in high school baseball that you'll see sometimes is the designated hitter will hit for a player other than the pitcher. So kind of one of those kind of differences that we'll talk about throughout the high school baseball season here. As Wes Childs has completed his warm-up tosses defensively for Maple Mountain on the infield, it's going to be Cade Polson, Colton Hamilton up the middle. It's going to be Moore at third base, Mitch Holmes at first, Jake Maffey behind the plate, Cannon Miner in left field, Jaron Hall in center, and out in right field today for the Golden Eagles looks to be Andrew Wixom. So Childs is set. We're ready to go. In the box is Halford, and the first pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes on the Timberwolves leadoff hitter. The 1-0 pitch, that one in the dirt for ball 2, 2-0. Childs has been able to control the breaking ball, did pretty well against Payson after the Lions was able to chase Dallin Peterson. And that one swung on, hit well to center field, and that's going to be a base hit as it falls and will roll out to Jaron Hall. So a hard hit ball by Halford here, and Timpanogos has the leadoff man on, and that's going to bring up Braden Millett, the third baseman. Millett set from the right side, stands in the batter's box. Halford gets his lead at first, got a pretty decent lead over there at first. Childs takes a quick look. Moore playing way in on the grass, expecting a bunt, and Millett takes the first pitch. High for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. So Braden Millett, 1 ball, no strikes the count. Millett standing in. Childs sets, looks into the behind home plate, delivers home the 1-0 pitch, a breaking ball that sits on the outside corner. No balls and a strike. One ball, 1 strike to count. Childs sets, kicks and delivers home, and that one misses again low, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike on Millett. So working the count, doing a good job is Millett, trying to get into a good hitter's count, preferably something where he can see a fastball. Childs takes a long look into Jake Maffey, throws over to first, diving back safely underneath the tag is Connor Halford. Maple Mountain in the road gray uniforms, a maroon M, and that's a breaking ball that misses low, ball 3, and the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. Good hitter's count here if you're Timpanogos. Looking for that fastball here. Typically 3-1's a pretty good fastball count. Pickoff move, diving back, and safe underneath the tag is Halford. Halford maybe a little bit, maybe another step towards second on that lead there. Colton Hamilton maybe a shade over closer to the bag. The 3-1 pitch is fouled away and makes the count 3-2. So 3-2 here. We'll see if Halford might run. Typically you wouldn't see 3-2 with nobody out in an inning because it opens up the strike him out, throw him out double play at second. Halford with a decent, pretty good sized lead over at first, kind of inches another step closer, not going, and that one's going to be chopped up the middle. Hamilton with it, goes to Polson for 1, down to first, and it looks like he was safe. A throw might have just pulled Mitch Holmes a little bit, but coming quickly down the line was Braden Millett there to beat it out, and Timpanogos gets the fielder's choice to retire Halford, and Braden Millett reaches on the fielder's choice for Oakley Craighead. Craighead getting the start at first base, stands in from the right side. It's Blake Lasike on deck. And the first pitch to Craighead is taken outside for a ball. Pickoff move and diving back again safely is Braden Millett. Couple of weeks into the high school baseball season here for both of these teams. Maple Mountain started their season down in St. George. And the runner acted like he was going to go. This one's grounded to Polson. Polson's going to have to hurry to get 2. They get Hamilton down to second for 1. Throw over to first, and trying to see, I still haven't seen the call, whether Maple Mountain's heading off the field, so they must have called them out. And that's going to end the inning. So a 6-4, 3 ground ball double play ends the first here at Timpanogos High School, where Maple Mountain leads at 1-0 right here on the Spanish Fort Community Network. Top of the second inning beginning here at Timpanogos High School, where right now it's Maple Mountain 1 and the Timpanogos Timberwolves 0 here on the Spanish Fort Community Network. Thanks for tuning in with us today as Maple Mountain comes up, and leading off is going to be Sam Moore, the third baseman. Moore's in the box as the first pitch goes away for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Cornish set on the mound to begin his second inning. And the 1-0 pitch on its way home is going to be hit to short. It's a one-hopper fielded cleanly by Swick. His throw across the dive at a time, and there's one away. So a nice ground ball to begin the inning if you're Timpanogos, and now the 7-hole hitter coming to the plate for the Golden Eagles. As the Golden Eagles stand in, I think that's Andrew Wixom. And the pitch on its way is in there for a called strike, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count. From the left side of the plate, the 0-1 pitch quickly coming home, and that one's hit hard by Wixom. Out in a deep right center field, going back and ranging under it. And there to make the play in center is Casey Hamilton, and there's 2 away. So a quick inning here for Cornish on the mound. Gets Wixom to fly out. And with 2 away, first pitch is away for a ball. Sorry, a strike there, and it's no balls and a strike. 0-1 pitch. Count is even for a ball, 1-1. 2 down, the kick and the delivery on its way. And that one's away for a ball. It's quickly 2 balls and a strike. Cornish, a quick worker on the mound, gets the ball, gets the sign, and gets ready to deliver the 2-1 pitch. There's a pitch that just misses off the plate, ball 3, and the count goes to 3 balls and a strike. Three balls and 1 strike to count. Set Cornish from the mound. Comes set, kicks, and delivers home the 3-1 pitch. That one's going to be swung on and lined out to right. Getting there and making the play is Lasique, and the top of the second comes to an end. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Maple Mountain. The Timberwolves coming up, trying to cut into that lead. 1-0 Maple Mountain at the end of 1.5. Wes Childs back to work for the Golden Eagles as the top of the second getting set, ready to begin from Timpanogos. And coming up, it's going to be 4, 5, and 6, Blake Lasique, Tyler Cornish, and Austin Favila coming up here for Timpanogos. And Wes Childs is just about set, ready to go back on the mound. Set the 4, 5, and 6 guys for Timpanogos. And the pitch coming in, and that one misses just away. 1 ball and no strikes. Childs kicks and delivers home the 1-0 pitch. That one bounces in for a ball, and it's 2-0. Childs able to, after giving up the leadoff hit to Halford back in the first, able to work through it, getting a couple of ground balls. The 1 ended the inning. Pitch comes, that one's going to be fouled away over to the Maple Mountain dugout. We'll send a couple of the Golden Eagles will move off. There, a couple of them are sitting in the dugout, looks like on buckets. And the ball rolled right to them. So 2 balls and a strike. Childs looks into Jake Maffey and gets the 2-1 pitch on its way. That one bounces in, ball 3, and the count runs to 3 balls and 1 strike to Lasique. Pitcher Tyler Cornish on deck as a 3-1 pitch is in there for a strike, and the count goes to 3-2. So full count now on Lasike. Child sets, kicks, and delivers the 3-0 pitch, or the 3-2 pitch, and that one's fouled back, and we'll do the 3-2 over again. So another 3-2 pitch about set to come. Childs kicks and delivers in, and that one bounced over to Colton Hamilton. Fields it cleanly. His throw to first is in time, and there's one away here in the inning. So Lasike working the count, but in the end grounds out. And the pitcher Tyler Cornish will come up and see if he can help his own cause, as the Timberwolves of Timpanogos trailing 1-0. Wes Childs working from the windup, kicks and delivers home. And that was going to be swung on first pitch, bounced to third. Sam Moore fields it cleanly. Throw across the diamond in time, and there's 2 away. So Wes Childs able to keep his pitch count down here for Maple Mountain, as it's been pretty just quick working with the ground balls. And with 2 outs, that's going to bring up Austin Favila, the DH. Hitting from the right side, Timpanogos looking to compete in Region 7. They'll compete in Region 7 this year. Next season, they'll add Timpview and Provo from Region 8 will come into Region 7. 1 ball and no strikes to count. The kick and the delivery on its way home. And that one sits right on the outside corner, called strike, evens the count at 1-1. Casey Hamilton in the on-deck circle, followed by Parker Murray. As the 1-1 pitch comes away for a ball, and it's 2-1. Just finishing here, getting those lineups taken care of. And the 2-1 pitch on its way, and that one misses just outside ball 3. Adds 3 balls and a strike, so a good hitter's count here for Austin Favila, the designated hitter. The 3-1 pitch is going to be swung on and grounded to second. Hamilton right there. Gets up with a high throw, but Holmes, it looks like, able to come down with it. And the second inning comes to an end from Timpanogos. So another 1-2-3 inning here for the Timberwolves. And at the end of 2 from Timpanogos High School, it's Maple Mountain 1, Timpanogos 0. You're watching high school baseball here on the Spanish 4 Community Network. This afternoon on the Spanish 4 Community Network, high school baseball. It's Maple Mountain and Timpanogos here from Orem, Utah. As the final week and a half of non-region baseball to finish up here. Maple Mountain will send Colton Hamilton, Jaron Hall, and Cannon Miner coming up here in the 3rd. And the 1-0 pitch is going to be grounded to lined right to second, and Halford right there to make the play, and there's 1 away. So some hard hit balls, a lot of hitters going up in this one so far, taking some early just swings in the count. And it's been able to keep both pitchers' pitch counts down pretty well. And if you're Maple Mountain having to play the amount of games they're going to play all in this week, you probably like the idea of your pitch count being down pretty low so you can conserve some of that pitching for later on in the week. So here's Jaron Hall. Hall back in the first, walked and then came around to score after stealing second base. They kick in the delivery home, and Hall takes that one low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Cannon Miner on deck for Maple Mountain. And the 1-0 pitch, Hall takes that one. It's going to be outside for a called strike. And the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Cornish sets, kicks, and delivers on its way. That ball bounces in the dirt. A good block behind home plate there. And there's 2 balls and a strike. Kick and the delivery home. Cornish kicks it home, and that one swung on by Hall, grounded up the middle. Going to be a tough play, and bobbled by the shortstop Swick. And Jaron Hall is aboard here to with 1 out here in the 3rd. Even if Swick cleanly fields that, he's going to have to make a strong, accurate throw to get the speedy Hall down the first baseline. So it would have been a very close bang-bang play, but once he kind of bobbled it, kind of made it impossible to get Hall at first. So Jaron Hall on, he stole second base back in his first at-bat, or first time on the base pass. We'll see here if Gary Miner in the third base coaching box for Maple Mountain gives him the sign to go or not. Cannon Miner stands in 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Hall gets his lead, not going, and a breaking ball is over for a called strike, and it's 0-1. That middle part of the lineup, the beginning part of the lineup, I should say, for the Golden Eagles, coming around and getting that first run up on the board to take a 1-0 lead. No balls and a strike. The kick, the pickoff move, and Hall gets back safely. One thing I do like that I'm seeing, I believe it's Braden Millett at third base. Whenever the throw over to first comes, he's always coming over and backing up the pitcher. That simple throw from first back to the pitcher would seem almost routine. Sometimes it can get away, though, as the 0-1 pitch misses with the fastball and evens the count at 1-1. So just kind of some of those fundamental things that you see done at, the high school level and some, maybe what might be considered the lower levels of baseball that sometimes can make the difference. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. The delivery on its way. Miner swings, hits that one deep in the hole. Swick gonna have to make another nice throw to get Miner, and he's not gonna get him, as the throw kind of pulled Craighead off first base. And so Maple Mountain with a couple of men on here with 1 out in the first. That's one thing with Maple Mountain putting Miner and Hall at the top of their lineup. That puts some of the 2 fastest guys that Coach Miner probably has right on the base pass. And here, with a couple of men on, you bring up Cade Polson in the 3 spot with good speed on the base pass. Outfield gonna play pretty straight up. Runners gets their lead, the kick and the delivery home, and Polson swings and misses. No balls and a strike. Cade Polson had an RBI single back in the first for Maple Mountain. He was able to get that first run of the game on the board. No balls and a strike. Runners get their lead again. Pickoff move to second. Hall's back as Swick came kind of from the backside of Jaron Hall and tried to sneak the tag on him. But Hall immediately, once he saw Cornish turn and look to second, quickly got back to the bag. Cornish taking a long look at Hall, delivers the pitch. That one's going to be swung on and just lightly grounded foul down the first baseline. Polson kind of fouled it away and then started running towards first, and that ball just hit the dirt, or hit that kind of the brim there between the grass and the dirt, and just kind of rolled it foul down the first baseline. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Hall gets his lead over at second. Over at first, it's Cannon Miner. 1 out. Polson set from the right side. And the kick on the delivery home. That one bounces, a good block in the dirt there, and a good stop behind home plate there by Jake Brooksby, the catcher. Brooksby, the one guy in this Timpanogos lineup not hitting, but will play defensively for the Timberwolves. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Delivery on its way, breaking ball. Polson's going to swing, hit that one out to right. Going to be a long run, making a nice catch. And no, he didn't come up with it. Was Favila in left. Everyone moving up 90 feet. And now Maple Mountain's got the bases loaded. I'm not sure if that one just went off the lip of his glove or if he lost it in the sun. But now bases loaded with 1 man out. And Jake Maffey's going to come to the plate. So the top of this Maple Mountain lineup causing Timpanogos some problems here today. And Jake Maffey comes up, who had a walk back in his first at-bat, comes up here to the plate. Timpanogos up the middle will play at double play depth. The ground ball here would be Tyler Cornish's best friend. And at first, Craighead playing in front of Polson. And the pitch comes home. Maffey swings and hits that one to third. It's kind of knocked down. The throw across the diamond is going to be in time. So they're going to get Jake Maffey at first, but Jaron Hall quickly comes home to score. All other runners move up 90 feet. So on the ground out, though, an RBI scores, and with one out here in the third inning, Mitch Holmes is going to come up with a couple of men on. That ball was a rocket hit there to Braden Millett, and Millett did a good job of just getting in front of it, knocking it down, and still not feeling too hurried to get Maffey at first. A lot of times you'll see that the ball will get knocked down, but you'll feel a sense of urgency to throw it across the diamond, and you'll overthrow it or throw it low and not get him. But there, a good throw by Braden Millett, and now 2 outs. Mitch Holmes comes up looking to try to knock in a couple for the Golden Eagles. And the first pitch misses low for a ball. It's 1-0. Holmes with a little bit of a closed stance in the box, and the pitch, that one comes in low again. It's 2-0. Maple Mountain playing today. They'll play Mountain Crest tomorrow back home at Maple Mountain at 3:30 first pitch. They'll play Murray on Friday, and the 2-0 pitch hits the outside corner for a called strike. Then they'll go play on Saturday up in Bountiful against the defending 4A state champs, where they'll play 2 against the Braves, and then it's off to Region 8 play. 2 balls and a strike. Miner's going to try to steal home. On its way, the throw, and they got him at the plate. A good job by Cornish there of not necessarily throwing it immediately, letting Miner get down the line, and Cannon Miner just couldn't quite beat the throw, so he's caught stealing to end. Maple Mountain in the top of the third, showing some of that speed, trying to get a quick one on Timpanogos. Cannon Miner tries to steal home, but he's thrown out trying to score, and that left 2 men on for the Golden Eagles here in the bottom of the third inning. Wes Childs back to work. So far through the 2 innings, Timpanogos is leadoff hitter, the only man to get a hit. Now 7, 8, 9 is going to come up. Casey Hamilton, Parker Murray, and Zach Swick due up against Childs, who is set ready to deliver his first pitch to Hamilton. Kick and delivery home is swung on and fouled away back behind home plate. Childs is set, ready to go, kicks and delivers home the 0-1 pitch. A breaking ball, and that one misses off the plate and evens the count at 1-1. One ball and 1 strike to count. The kick and the delivery home, the 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be swung on and kind of popped up. Hamilton goes out, makes a kind of a leaping catch into the air, and there's 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. So a ball that just kind of got, it looks like, the top part of the bat, enough contact made to get it into shallow right center field, but just a little bit further and it probably falls, but Colton Hamilton able to backtrack and get out there to make the play. So with 1 away, Parker Murray, the left fielder, stands in. Murray's first plate appearance of the day, and the first pitch he sees is going to not quite make it to home plate as it bounces in the dirt for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes. Childs quickly back to work. Gets the kick and the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and popped up. Maffey will turn and let that one go foul. The press box here at Timpanogos, well, I want to say press box, kind of doubles as the locker room. A nice setup just raised right above the Timpanogos dugout. So it's not like a lot of ballparks where it's kind of situated right behind home plate. Kind of a cool kind of side view here from the third base grandstand. And that one misses low for a ball, evens the count at 2-2. Up at the state tournament a lot of times at Brent Brown Ballpark, you'll see the station here, Spanish Fork 17, kind of set up along that first base concourse. The 2-1 pitch misses away for ball 3, and it's 3 balls and a strike. So kind of a similar feel that we have today. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Hitters count for Tyler Murray. For Parker Murray. And the 3-1 pitch, and that one misses high, ball 4. And so Murray's able to draw himself a walk with one away. Zach Swick's going to come to the plate. And Childs has at times today given up a base runner here. Gave up a single back in the first, but then got a terrific ground ball double play to win the inning. Zach Swick, the shortstop, stands in. Sam Moore is going to play really in on the grass. I mean, he's almost to about the pitcher's mound. And that one misses in high and tight for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. After Zach Swick, back to the top of the lineup, and Connor Halford for Timpanogos. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Runners getting their lead over at first. The kick and the delivery home. That one swung on, popped up. And that one's going to go foul up over the first base dugout. It's 0-1. Or, I'm sorry, evens the count at 1-1. One ball and 1 strike to count. Childs, pretty quick worker. Steps right back kind of on the mound and gets set ready to go. The delivery on its way, and that's going to be a called strike on the outer half. And the count goes to 1-2. So kind of looks like the slider there coming from Maple Mountain there, and it just kind of didn't quite catch the zone as it just, well, caught the zone. It apparently did, but it kind of looked like it slid off the plate. The 1-2 pitch is going to be swung on, and that one's fouled away, and we'll do the 1-2 again. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Big hole on that right side for Swick, as holding on, Mitch Holmes is holding on the runner, Parker Murray, at first. 1-2 pitch on its way home, and that one stays high, ball 2, and it evens the count at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Polson and Hamilton playing kind of a double play depth up the middle. Pitch comes home, swung on, and missed for strike 3 as Zach Swick chased a pitch that was well out of the strike zone. That is the first strikeout of the game for Wes Childs. And there's 2 outs for the top of the lineup and Connor Halford. Halford singled back in the first and then, well, got out on the fielder's choice. Childs working from the stretch, kicks and delivers home, and that one's going to be swung on and bounced over to third. Fielded by Sam Moore. His throw over to Holmes is in time, and the 3rd inning for Timpanogos comes to an end. We've played 3 complete here from Timpanogos High School, and it's the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles 2, the Timpanogos Timberwolves 0, here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. We move to the top of the 4th here at Timpanogos High School in Orem, Utah, where it's the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Timpanogos Timberwolves here. As this afternoon, we want to thank our sponsors for helping make this broadcast possible. We'd like to thank the Car Guys for sponsoring our Car Guys Instant Replay here on the Spanish Fork Community Network, and also MVP Sports, who at the conclusion of today's game will give you the MVP Sports MVP of the game. As right now, Mitch Holmes steps in. Holmes on the day, grounded out back in the 2nd inning. And the 0-1 pitch on its way. Holmes takes that one. And that one, I guess, just missed for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. So it's going to be Mitch Holmes, Sam Moore, and Andrew Wixom. Now, Holmes was at the plate in the bottom of the in the top of the 3rd as he hits a ground ball to short. Fielded cleanly by Swick, and his throw across the diamond 1 away. I'm going to finish that thought on Holmes. Holmes was at the plate in the 3rd inning, but since the base stealer was caught stealing, whoever was at the plate comes up to start the next inning. So with 1 out, that's going to bring up Sam Moore. Moore 0 for 1, grounded out too short back in the 2nd inning. The kick and the delivery home from Cornish. Swung on and popped up foul. Andrew Wixom on deck for the Golden Eagles. Head coach Gary Miner giving directions here as he sits in that stand in that 3rd base coaching box. That one swung on and popped up pretty well out into left field. It's going to fall for a base hit. Taking a turn, Sam Moore is going to get halfway in between first and second before holding, and he's got himself a leadoff single, as that one was just kind of a ball that wasn't really hit the hardest, but just kind of finds the one spot out there in between Murray and Hamilton. And on to start with one away is Sam Moore, and that's going to bring up Andrew Wixom. So Maple Mountain just finding the courtesy of being able to find that one spot in the gap where nobody was. And now that's going to bring up Wixom. Wixom hit a fly ball out to Casey Hamilton back in the second inning. For the second out of that inning, a breaking ball comes low and inside for a ball, and it's 1-0. The wind beginning to pick up here at Timpanogos. 1 ball and no strikes as the American flag out in deep right center field, kind of swirling all over the place. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Runner gets his lead, acts like he's going to go. Wixom hits a hard liner to short. Zwick right there to make the play. Zwick was in perfect defensive position. That one was hit off the bat of Wixom, and all really there Zwick had to do was just jump up and make the grab. And with 2 outs in the inning, that's going to bring up Bailey Roberts. Roberts wearing number 9, hitting from the right side, 0 for 1. He flew out to right to end the second inning, back in his first plate appearance back in the second. The kick and the delivery on its way. Roberts swings, hits that one through the hole into left field for a base hit. So Moore takes the turn at second, and now a couple of runners on here. And with 2 away, that's going to bring up Colton Hamilton. Hamilton hit a hard ball right at second, but Halford was right there to make the easy grab. And with 2 down, it's going to be a big opportunity here for Colton Hamilton to try to get out of his slump. He's kind of been slumping here to start the season. And so now a big opportunity here to try to get out of it with a couple of men on. I shouldn't say to start the season now that we're 2 to 3 weeks in, but in the last couple of weeks, he's been struggling at the plate. And the pitch comes in. There's a breaking ball, and that one sits on the inside corner. No balls and a strike. You do want to see balls hit hard. I mean, it's one thing if you're just having bad at-bats. If you're hitting the ball hard, just hitting it right at people, then that's a little bit different. No balls and a strike. Runners gets their lead. The pitch home. Good block behind home plate there by Brooksby, and he makes the count 1-1. Sam Moore running on at second. Bailey Roberts over at first for Maple Mountain. Maple Mountain with a 2-0 lead with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. The delivery home, and that one check swing, and they're going to say, looks like they're going to say he went around for strike 2, and it's 1-2. Timpanogos 1 strike away from getting out of the inning and getting up in the bottom of the 4th. Runners gets their lead. And the 1-2 pitch as Moore was starting to kind of dance towards third, and Cornish doing a good job of turning and looking him back to second base. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Cornish working from the stretch, takes a long look into Brooksby. Kicks and delivers the pitch home, and that one's low for a ball, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Colton Hamilton. Outfield playing pretty straight away. Infield playing at normal depth. Runner not being held on at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. And the delivery comes breaking ball. That one, Hamilton just getting enough of it to foul it back to the screen, and will do another 2-2 pitch. Two balls, 2 strikes. Set, ready to go. Runners getting their lead. Kind of a big, decent-sized gap on that right side if Hamilton was to pull one. That was going to be swung out, pulled right through the hole into right field. Moore's going to get the wave around, coming around third. The throw is going to be cut off at first, and Moore's home easy, and Maple Mountain's taking a 3-0 lead on an RBI single by Colton Hamilton. So Hamilton, just after I finished the thought, Hamilton pulls it right into that hole. And an RBI single here in the 4th brings it back to the top of the lineup. And this has been the part of the order that's really got things going here in the early going for Maple Mountain, as we're going to have a courtesy runner on at second base. And we're going to see here for Maple Mountain, as we're going to see here early on in the season to get everything situated here. Jaron Hall waiting to stand in the box for Maple Mountain. And Hall here a chance earlier on the night, singled and scored, and then walked and then also came around to score. Cornish set working from the stretch. Two down, and the pitch comes, a nice bunt lay down. That's going to be fielded by the catcher, and the throw's going to come late, and it looks like we're going to have a play call. It looks like the umpire at second base is trying to say he's putting his hands up against his chest. I think what they're going to say is it was fouled away, and they're going to say it looks like 0-1. They're going to say that Hall, after Hall, I'm not sure if it happened when he got out of the batter's box, but whatever happened, it looks like the ball came up and hit Jaron Hall, which in this case, it looks like they're going to call a foul ball. A little bit of looks like an explanation given to Timpanogos. And so that will make it no balls and a strike on Hall. Brooksby there kind of waited just a half a second. If that ball wasn't called foul, then Hall beats that out for a base hit. No balls and a strike. Runners gets their lead at first and second. The delivery on its way. Breaking ball. And Hall takes that one low and away for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Hall moved into the leadoff spot. Cannon Minor on deck. The 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be hit hard right up the middle. And that one's bobbled by Swick, and that's going to go into center field. Coming around third and scoring will be number 25 for Maple Mountain, who I've checked the rosters I have, and I don't have a number 25 for Maple Mountain. And so scoring on the play was the courtesy runner, and it's now 4-0 Maple Mountain. Runners move up, and I would assume that that's going to probably be an error there against Swick, as he was right in front of it, and he just kind of bobbled it. And I think we're going to have a quick visit out to the mound here by one of the coaches for Timpanogos, as Cannon Minor is going to come to the plate. He'll have a visit from Gary Minor, the head coach of Maple Mountain. So a good opportunity here for the Golden Eagles to try to maybe put some distance here and give some run support here for West Childs, as they're looking to try to see what they can do with 2 down. 2 down here in the second inning. Colton Hamilton will be the runner out at second base. As really, you got to look at it, Tyler Cornish has pitched pretty well tonight. He's given up the runs, but a lot of them have just come on timely hitting by Maple Mountain for the most part. I mean, he's allowed 1 in the first and 1 in the third, but a lot of the times the Golden Eagles are just coming up with the hits exactly when they need them, and they're not balls that are exactly hit extremely hard. They're just put in the right spots. Cannon Minor stands in, and the first pitch comes low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Cannon Minor singled and then was caught stealing, trying to steal home plate back in the third. Hamilton and Hall, the base runners for Maple Mountain, from second to first. The 1-0 pitch on its way. Cornish delivers, and that one low and away, and it's 2-0 the count on Cannon Minor. Two balls and no strikes. Cornish maybe working a little bit slower here with the base runners on. 2-0 pitch. That one's swung on by Minor, and that one's hit out to left. Fly ball, and it's caught by Murray, and that's going to end the 4th inning. So Maple Mountain does score 2 in the top half of the 4th inning, and Timpanogos coming up. They have some work to do. It's Maple Mountain 4, Timpanogos 0 here on the Spanish Fork Community Network, where you're watching high school baseball. Top half of the 4th inning here on Spanish Fork Community Network, as the Golden Eagles are on the road today, taking on the Timpanogos Timberwolves here in Orem. One of these last couple of road trips before Region 8 play begins next week for these Golden Eagles. And here playing pretty well today, leading 4-0, as West Childs has been in full control on the mound so far. Braden Millick, Oakley Craighead, and Blake Lasike, 2, 3, and 4 coming up for Timpanogos. Timpanogos has gotten a man on via a walk, and then also got a leadoff single from Connor Halford back in the first. And the first pitch is going to be swung on, and that one's going to be fouled away by Braden Millett. Millett was at the plate in the first with Halford on at first base. That the ground ball hit by Millett, that Halford got retired on at second base. No balls and a strike, as that one bounces in for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike to count. Nobody out, bottom of the 4th inning. Wes Childs has kept his pitch count pretty low through this point of the ball game. Hasn't had to really labor through many long innings so far this afternoon. And we talked about it for Maple Mountain with having to play 5 games this week. Definitely not something you want to have to do is go very deep into that pitching staff. 1 ball, 1 strike, the kick and the delivery on its way home. And that was misses away, low and away, and it makes the count 2 balls and a strike. Outfield playing straight away. Wixom, Hall, and Minor from right to left. Infield playing straight away too as the 2-1 pitch misses low and away. Count goes to 3-1. Holmes and Hamilton on the right side of the Maple Mountain infield, with Polson and Sam Moore on the left side. Pitch comes home, that one swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 3-2. So a 3-2 count for Braden Millett. A pretty good hitter's count here. Puts pressure really on both the hitter and the pitcher, because as the pitcher, you have to hit your spot, preferably over the plate. The hitter can't take anything too close. Millett swings and rolls that one down the third baseline, barehanded by Childs. His throw across the diamond is in time. Millett was going hard down the baseline. I didn't think Millett put that right in the perfect spot. Put it where it was either Sam Moore had to come up and field it, or the pitcher Childs had to come up and field it, and put it in a position where one of them could have just let it go and the other called him off. He doesn't do that. And Wes Childs has to quickly barehand it and throw it over to first, and was able to get Millett barely over at first. So with 1 out, that brings up Oakley Craighead. Childs delivers the first pitch, and Craighead, it looks like, going around for a called strike 0-1. Craighead bounced into a 6-4 3-double play back in the first that ended the first inning. No balls and a strike. Childs quickly set on the mound. Kicks and delivers home the 0-1 pitch. And that one's going to be a called strike, as it just looks like catches that outside corner. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, 1 down, bottom of the 4th inning. Childs looking for the punch out right here. The 0-2 pitch misses way high, as Craighead kind of had to turn his head a little bit. That one came up and in. As it looks like a tennis ball there's a tennis match going on, so the tennis court sits pretty much right next to the baseball field. There's a tennis match going on right behind us, and so it looks like one of the tennis balls came up over the roof and landed on the field, so time was called. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. The kick and the delivery home, and that was going to be swung on and popped up. Hamilton going out. He's going to try to dive, doesn't come up with it. And Wixom able to quickly get it in, so a 1-out single by Craighead there. And that's a base hit. Again, not a ball that was hit hard off the bat by Craighead, but just one that gets right up over Hamilton. And Hamilton made that similar play earlier in the game, I believe coming in even last inning when Casey Hamilton was at the plate, but it just didn't there. He just couldn't quite get there. So with 1 out, a man on, that's going to bring up Blake Lasique. Lasique grounded out to second in his first at bat back in the 2nd inning. Oakley Craig had the runner over at first. Childs delivers home, and Lasique swings, lines that one right over the glove and off of Moore into right field. Coming over, Wixom sprinting in from right. He's going to get there. Craig had immediately turned back over to first, which I don't blame him, because that was just right over the glove of the first baseman, Holmes, but it just rolls right off the glove, and Craig had able to quickly go down to second. So now Timpanogos here with their first real threat of the game with a couple of men on. We're going to get a courtesy runner. That's number 16, Favila. It looks like it's Dylan Favila going out to pinch run, or the courtesy runner. Again, they can courtesy run for the catcher or the pitcher. And so the courtesy runner, in fact, they can courtesy run for just about anybody through their lineup. now that I think of it. So a quick visit out to the mound here by Maple Mountain just to kind of quiet down Wes Childs a little bit. He's a ground ball away from being out of this inning, but he's given up the first couple of hits, the first time this afternoon where Timpanogos has had base runners on. Well, when they've had a good kind of a threat going here with one away, I should say. They've had base runners a couple of other times, just haven't been able to manufacture anything. And now the pitcher, Tyler Cornish, comes up looking to try to help his own cause. How big something to right field here would be as Andrew Wixom's playing over towards the right center field gap. You could put one down that right field line and be running for a while as the first pitch is a strike into Tyler Cornish. Cornish grounded out to third back in the second. Running on at second base is Craighead. Lasike over at first. No balls and one strike. Runners gets their lead. The kick and the delivery home, and that one just misses off the plate with the breaking ball, evens the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 gone here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Just enough clouds to keep the sun from, well, just enough clouds on the day where the sun's not extremely bright as that one's fouled away. But still bright, not enough clouds where the sun is covering the field here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Totally different from the start of the Payson game on Thursday where it rained for the first about 20 minutes or so. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Child sets, checks the runner. Craighead at second delivers home, and that one bounced in there for a ball, and it's 2-2. Sorry, that's not Craighead at second. That is Dylan Favila running on at second base. Polston playing over towards second. Sam Moore for Maple Mountain hugging that third baseline. Big hole in that left field side here for Cornish, the batter. Polston will now kind of step back into a normal positioning, and Cornish grounds that one right to Sam Moore. Moore goes to Hamilton for 1. The relay toss to first isn't handled by Holmes, and taking Dylan Favila started to break for home and then quickly puts on the brakes as Timpanogos has runners on the corners. Lasike retired on the fielder's choice, and that's the second out of the inning, and Tyler Cornish reaches, and now Austin Favila is going to come to the plate, and we're going to have another courtesy runner. As it's going to be number 14.
Number 14, courtesy runner on first base, Connor Ayers.
So Connor Ayers is going to step out and run with 2 down. So 2 courtesy runners on the base paths here for Timpanogos. Umpire will mark that down in his scorecard. And Wes Childs is an out away from keeping the Timberwolves off the scoreboard here. Dylan Favila at the plate. Favila grounded out to second to end that second inning. Childs getting a look in behind home plate, getting the sign. Working a little bit slower here with runners on base. He's definitely been thrown off his rhythm a little bit here. He was just kind of going, just strike after strike there for a while. And that one misses low, just below the knees of Favila. Andrew Wixom still playing deep off there into right center field. And, I mean, that line, you can't clearly well see the line, but you can see the foul pole down that right field line. There's a big gap out there in right field. I know I've talked about it already this inning, but if Timpanogos is able to put one out there, they can run for a while. The pitch is going to be, that one is low again, ball 2, 2-0. Casey Hamilton in the on-deck circle for Timpanogos. Should Favila find a way here to reach. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Wes Childs sets, kicks, and delivers. And that one, again, looks like that one just sat low again, ball 3, and it's 3-0. So 3-0, typically you'll see a lot of hitters will be taking here 3-0 all the way. We'll see here if Austin Favila has the green light. 3-0 pitch on its way. That one misses low, ball 4. And Timpanogos here has the bases full And now Casey Hamilton coming up here with one swing of the bat could tie this ball game. And we're going to have a visit here out to the mound. Believe that's Jake Maffey going out to quickly calm down the pitcher. Colton Hamilton will come in as well from second base. This is the first time tonight Wes Childs is really, and even in that game, his outing against Payson, he wasn't really in a lot of trouble against Payson. Gave up a run or two here and there, but never had a situation here where their base is loaded, looking for that final out. So Casey Hamilton will step in the box. Hamilton hit kind of a pop-up to second base. Colton Hamilton able to just kind of reach up in the air back in the third. Similar to the ball hit earlier in the inning that Hamilton didn't get to, and the first pitch home. It looks like low for a ball. Casey Hamilton in center field for Timpanogos. Looking for that clutch 2-out RBI. The 1-0 pitch on its way home, and that one bounces in the dirt. The snap throw down to first gets by Holmes. Coming in to score will be Favila, being waved around third, and coming in is Air, and the throw is not going to be in time to Jake Maffey, and just like that, Timpanogos able to get a couple of quick ones. So the throwing error there by Maffey scores 2. Austin Favila having to hold at first base, and it's 4-2 here in the fourth inning, and that's one that if Timpanogos gets a hit, then great. But that's one that's totally in Jake Maffey's control, and he just airmailed Mitch Holmes there. And I don't even think he got it that far over Mitch Holmes. Mitch Holmes just couldn't quite handle it, and the ball just scooted far enough away. Heads up base running there by the Timpanogos base runners, and now they're back within 2. The 2-0 pitch swung on, and that one's fouled away by Casey Hamilton, and it's 2 balls and a strike. So you have to take advantage of opportunities, and you have to take advantage, especially when the other team's willing to give you runs. 2 balls and a strike. Childs checks Austin Favila over the first delivery, comes home, and that one it looks like just missed off the plate. Ball 3. Some action starting to get loose now down in the Maple Mountain bullpen. When I say down in, it's literally just right off the dugout. I don't even know if it's really a true bullpen. It looks kind of set up more kind of like a batting cage sort of a setup, probably doubles, as both Austin Favila going the throw downs in plenty of time, and they'll get him to end the inning.
Out at second base.
And so Favila there, and no, it looks like no one's going. It looks like he was safe. I'm not sure if Hamilton bobbled the baseball.
It was a walk.
It was a walk, and so because the count was 3-1. So ball 4, Hamilton walked, and now Parker Murray will come to the plate. And we'll see here exactly what's about to happen, as now something in the gap here could clear the bases and we could be tied. Action will probably begin to work a little bit quicker for Maple Mountain. Wes Childs has done a good job through 4. This is the first time tonight that he's actually been in some trouble. Parker Murray walked, and that one is going to be in there for a strike. I should say the throw down to second did get him. It would have got him, but ball 4, it didn't matter. So a lot of times you'll see in that 3-1, 3-2 situation, the runner will go. No balls and a strike. Runners gets their lead. The kick and the delivery home, and that one's going to be inside, and it hits Parker Murray, and the bases are now loaded once again. And now Zach Swick going to come to the plate with a big opportunity. We're going to have a mound visit here, and I think that Wes Childs' day has come to an end. And Wes Childs, I think, knows that as he was stepping off the mound here, and he was kind of told to kind of get back on the mound, as we'll have a quick visit, and now he'll have the ball taken from him, and we'll have a pitching change here at Timpanogos High School, where the Timberwolves are threatening once again. Bases are loaded with 2 down. We'll introduce you to the new Maple Mountain pitcher after the break. You're watching high school baseball here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. So bottom half of the 4th inning here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. Quinn Green, number 12, will take over on the mound for the Golden Eagles, as the left-hander comes over to replace Wes Childs, who at the end of the day had a pretty good outing going, but just ran into some trouble here in the third, and a couple of defensive miscues behind him will as Timpanogos has found a way to chase West Childs and now has the bases loaded with 2 outs, and Quinn Green comes in, the left-hander here. Will give Timpanogos a little bit different look because the Timberwolves all day have seen a right-handed pitcher. We're going to have a pinch hitter, number 24. Hayden Walker is going to come in to pinch hit for Timpanogos, so he'll hit for Zach Swick. So Walker will pinch hit for Zwick in a big situation here. A base hit could tie this ball game as Austin Favila is at third, Casey Hamilton at second, and it's Parker Murray over at first. Quinn Green, number 12, looking here to get the big strike. Walker from the right, and the delivery comes on first pitch is swung on and fouled right into the Maple Mountain dugout as a couple of Golden Eagles there will quickly turn to get out of the way as that ball didn't come off the bat extremely hard, but it came off hard enough. No balls and 1 strike. Quinn Green, the left-hander, looks in to get the sign. And is just about set, gets the sign. Kicks and delivers home the 0-1 pitch. And that's high and away for a ball, evens the count at 1-1. Infield up the middle, just playing regular depth all the way around. Wixom and right, once again, kind of shading towards right center field. A pretty big outfield here at Timpanogos High School to play. A little bit bigger than Maple Mountain, so the outfielders probably having to adjust a little bit to that there. Although Jaron Hall playing pretty straight away. Cannon Minor has a lot of ground out there and left to play. 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Walker. The kick and the delivery, that one swung on, fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Quinn Green, the left-hander, 1 strike away from stranding the Timberwolves with the bases loaded. Their biggest threat of the ball game. They have 2 runs in, and they got 3 more waiting on the pond. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Green set from the stretch. Kicks it, delivers home the 1-2 pitch. And that's a called strike 3. Walker down on strikes as the breaking ball came and froze him. And we've played 4 here from Timpanogos High School, where it's Maple Mountain 4 and Timpanogos 2 right here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. The Golden Eagles coming up after the break. Top half of the 5th inning here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. The Golden Eagles surrender 2 in the bottom half of the inning, in the bottom half of the 4th inning. As they come up now, they'll bring up the top of their, or the middle part of their lineup. Cade Polson, Jake Maffey, and Mitch Holmes coming up. Polson's going to start here at the shortstop position, singled and has reached on an error in his 2 plate appearances today. So getting all the defensive changes set, new pitcher for Timpanogos, Braden Millett will move from the third base spot to the pitcher. Tyler Cornish moves from the pitching spot over to third. And that's all the changes I can tell as of right now. And CJ Argyle's come in at short as well. So a couple of changes here. So Swick is now out of the game here. And Braden Millett about to step onto the mound here, number 23 for Timpanogos. And he'll have to come in, and that's not exactly an easy part of the lineup for Maple Mountain, or to face here with Maple Mountain, as you're going to get Cade Polson in the middle part, 3, 4, and 5. Polson wearing number 20, and the first pitch home from Braden Millett. Misses low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball and no strikes to count. And the kick and the delivery on its way. That one swung out by Polson, line to left. That's going to fall for a base hit. And so Cade Polson with a sharply hit single. And he's got a leadoff man on here for Maple Mountain in the 5th. So the 3rd time today, Cade Polson's been on base. And Jake Maffey's going to come to the plate, number 5. Maffey's had himself a decent ball game. An RBI on the ground out in the 3rd, and then walked back in the 1st. Polson gets his lead. He is a threat to steal a base. And the pitch comes in. Maffey lays down a bunt and fouls it away. that was one where it came straight up as Jake went to run to first base, and when he laid it down, it just came right back up and hit him. So be no balls and a strike to Jake Maffey. Maffey hitting in that cleanup spot today for Maple Mountain. That's where he's been. We've talked about Coach Miner kind of using some different lineups, trying to fill out exactly what's going best for him here. No balls and a strike. The delivery comes, and that's going to be a high pitch, almost a snap throw to first, but it's not thrown down there by Brooksby, and it makes the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's really what your non-league season's for. You know, play out some different lineups, kind of get all those kinks out. At the end of the day, your non-league record doesn't really go towards anything for qualifying for the state tournament. So a chance to kind of figure some things out before region play begins for both of these teams. 1 ball, 1 strike. The delivery comes home, and that's going to be right on the outside for a called strike, and even makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mitch Holmes on deck for Maple Mountain. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Braden Millett trying to keep the Maple Mountain attack down and get his guys up in the bottom of the 5th inning to try to continue to cut into this lead. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, that stays high, ball 2, and the count goes to 2-2. Maffey will take a look down, get the sign from his head coach, Gary Miner, in the third base coaching box. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Millett takes a look over his shoulder over to first to see Cade Polson. The delivery comes home, and that's going to be just a little bit, looks like low and away for ball 3, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. 3-2 the count. Polson over at first. We'll see here if he's going with a 3-2 pitch. It's risky with nobody out, because if it is strike 3, then you can't go to strike him out, throw him out. Polson, as the throw comes back over to first, dives back underneath the tag. So we'll see here exactly how Maple Mountain decides to play, is if they're willing to take the risk here and see if they'll send Cade Polson. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Millett from the stretch. Takes a quick look over at first. Gets the sign. And he is going. That was swung on by Maffey and popped up. Polson's going to have to turn and quickly get back. Argyle's under it at short, and he makes the catch. And Polson able to easily just kind of trot back. But a big out there, and that's one of those risks, too, if you're Maple Mountain of sending them, is if that's a line drive hit right at somebody, then Polson's easily doubled off. But luckily there, Maffey hit that one high into the afternoon sky. And Argyle, you could kind of tell him battling it there, having to put that glove up as that sun is coming in from about that right center to behind home plate, or that right side behind home plate area here at Timpanogos High. So 1 out, Mitch Holmes comes to the plate. Holmes on the day and that one swung on by Holmes and hit for a base hit. Hard hit ball right through the left side. Polson's going to make the turn at second. He'll hold as the ball is juggled out there and the throw comes in. So Maple Mountain, a couple of men on here with 1 away for Sam Moore. Moore's going to wear number 22, the third baseman here. And Gary Miner, it looks like we might have a courtesy runner coming in here for Cade Polson or something here. It looks like they said something to the home plate umpire, and I don't know if there was a courtesy runner or if what was going on. No changes were made as Polson and Holmes is the base runner. And now going out will be Brooksby to have a quick word with Braden Millett here. As with 1 out, Sam Moore comes to the plate. Moore singled and scored back in the 4th and also grounded out back in the 2nd inning. So Sam Moore, a couple of good at-bats today for Maple Mountain. Andrew Wixom on deck. Golden Eagles looking to try to add to their 4-2 lead as we play here in the top of the 5th inning at Timpanogos. Quinn Green's come in relief of the starter today, Wes Childs. 1 gone here, and the delivery comes home. That one bounces in the dirt. A good block, but it's going to get to the backstop. Coming down to third is Cade Polson, and Mitch Holmes down to second base. I thought Brooksby clearly got in front of that, but it looks like it got through and it rolled all the way to the backstop. Not not an extremely deep backstop here at Timpanogos, but deep enough where the runners are going to move up. And now we'll see the courtesy runner for the Golden Eagles coming out here, as it looks like it's going to be number 10 here for Maple Mountain here. So we'll get a quick look. That's Peyton Pond coming into courtesy run out at second base. So Pond comes in to run. So Peyton Pond comes in to run. Sam Moore, the runner, or the hitter, I mean. Timpanogos is going to bring their infield in, try to cut down the run on the plate. Good block this time by Brooksby. That will keep the ball from going to the backstop, and it's 2-0 to Sam Moore. So Moore, all of a sudden, a good RBI opportunity. A courtesy runner coming in to replace Pond, who has a little more speed than Mitch Holmes. So a good use there by Gary Miner of the courtesy runner. A 2-0 pitch on its way home, and Moore fouls that one back, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Braden Millett looking to try to work through the inning here. Looking to find a way here. What he'd preferably like is a ground ball hit right at one of the infielders here to keep Cade Polson from scoring. Anything here, the danger of bringing the infield in like this is you do have to have a quicker reaction time, and a harder hit ball is harder to field. There's not a lot of time to get to the gaps. The 2-1 pitch into Moore. That one's another good block by Brooksby, and the count goes to 3 balls and a strike. So a 3-1 pitch. Sam Moore probably going to get a pretty good pitch, likely typically a fastball count. Outfield's going to go pretty straight away. Infield trying to cut down the run at the plate. Working from the stretch is the right-hander, Braden Millett. Millett will just take a step right off the mound here and try to see here what he can do. Sam Moore, even stance in the box, that back foot all the way hitting almost out of the batter's box. A 3-1 pitch, and that one's going to be high, ball 4. And Maple Mountain has the bases loaded here in the 5th inning with 1 man out, and Andrew Wixom coming to the plate. Wixom 0 for 2 on the night. Wixom went down here on strike, or sorry, didn't go down on strikes, hit a fly ball to the outfield. So the run comes in to score, and it's 5-2 in favor of Maple Mountain. So Wixom reaches on the air 4, and now that's going to bring up Bailey Roberts. Roberts is going to come up here. Hitting from the right side, the kick and the delivery home, and that one misses in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count on Bailey Roberts. Roberts flown out to right, and then singled and came around to score. No balls and a strike, the kick and the delivery on its way home. And that one's going to be swung on and hit pretty well out to center for Roberts. Under it there is making the catches. Hamilton, his throw is going to be cut off, but Peyton Pond's going to come in to score. And Maple Mountain has made it a 6-2 ball game on the sacrifice fly by Bailey Roberts. And now it brings up Colton Hamilton. Hamilton has hit a hard line out right to second, and then his last at-bat had an RBI single. That was a very nice at-bat as Gunnar Gillespie looking to try to work out of this inning here. And really, with the bases loaded and 1 out, not bad to only allow the 2 runs. On its way, that one's going to be popped up into left field, a long run, and he's not going to get there. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Moore going to score. Right behind him and scoring is Wixom, and up with a 2-run double is Colton Hamilton. And Maple Mountain here in the 5th has really blown this ball game open, as all I could see here from the press box was the left fielder in this case, and that was Parker Murray just running about as hard as he could back to the track. And there was just no way he was getting to that ball. And now it's 8-2 Maple Mountain here in the 5th inning, and we're going to have a pinch runner coming in for Maple Mountain, as it's going to be, looks like number 30 coming in. Colin Reed will pinch run. So Reed will pinch run for Hamilton here, and now that's going to go back to the top of the lineup and Jaron Hall. Hall's been on the base paths in all of his at-bats today, including an RBI single in the 4th, a single and a run scored in the 3rd, and he walked and came around to score back in the 1st. Gillespie will take a step off the mound here as Hall steps out of the box. Colin Reed, the courtesy runner at second base for Hamilton. Gillespie kicks and delivers home a breaking ball, and behind that one and just kind of swung over the top was Jaron Hall. Hall made a little bit of contact with that, but just got the top of the baseball and fouled it straight back to the screen. No balls and a strike. Gillespie set on the mound, checks the runner at second. Kicks and delivers home, and that one swung on and fouled straight back again by Hall, and it's 0-2. Jaron's just getting under these balls, just keeps fouling them straight back to the backstop. Not even straight back to the backstop, completely over the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. 4 runs in for Maple Mountain. They've broken open this one, 8-2 Golden Eagles. Gillespie checks Reed at second base, kicks and delivers home, and Hall swings and pops that one high up on the infield. Craighead going to give it a look. He's there, and he makes the catch, and the inning comes to an end, but the damage has been done. The Golden Eagles put 4 runs across here in the 5th. Timpanogos coming up. They have some work to do right here on the Spanish 4 Community Network. Maple Mountain 8, Timpanogos 2, live from Timpanogos High School. Bottom half of the 5th inning here on the Spanish 4 Community Network. Thanks for tuning in today, where Maple Mountain has made the trek up north to Timpanogos to take on the Timberwolves. And Maple Mountain in full control here, 8-2 as we begin play here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The left-hander Quinn Green on the mound, got the final out of the 4th, and now he'll work against the top of the Timberwolves lineup. It's going to be Connor Halford, Braden Millett, and Oakley Craighead coming up 1, 2, and 3 in the Timpanogos lineup. So Timpanogos will set. Halford has singled back in the 1st to lead off the inning, and then also grounded out to 3rd. So 4 runs in, and Halford will hit from the right side of the plate. Quinn Green set from the mound, takes a look in, kicks and delivers home. The delivery on its way is away for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Braden Millett, the third baseman, on deck, and then it'll be Oakley Craighead, 1, 2, and 3 in the Timpanogos lineup. 1 ball and no strikes. Quinn Green kicks and delivers home the 1-0 pitch. That one swung on, grounded right back to Green, who fields it, takes a couple steps, underhand toss to first in time, and there's 1 out here in the 5th. That ball was hit right back to Quinn Green, and he just gloved it and just was able to make the easy toss over to first. We do want to thank our sponsors here on the Spanish 4 Community Network who help make all of these broadcasts possible throughout the baseball season and our other high school sports seasons. We'd like to thank the Car Guys for sponsoring our Car Guys Instant Replay, and also MVP Sports for the MVP of the game, which will be named at the conclusion of this broadcast, as the first pitch by Quinn Green goes on the outside corner for a called strike to Braden Millett. Millett reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out to the pitcher. The 0-1 pitch kicks and delivers home. That one's going to be bounced over to short, fielded by Polson. Polson's throw over, not picked out of the dirt by Holmes. And right there to back the play up was Jake Maffey. Sam Moore actually having to run over to cover the bag there, as Braden Millett was able to reach. I was assuming the throw from Polson was a little low, but not able to pick it out of the dirt was Holmes there. I would imagine that that's going to go down as an error somewhere around the board, and now that's going to bring up to the plate Oakley Craighead. Craighead grounded into a double play and also singled back in the fourth and came around to score. Craighead wearing number 3. And Quinn Green checking the runner over at first base. Millett getting a decent lead. Doesn't really look like he'd be going, but stepping off the mound for a second there is Quinn Green, the left-hander. Infield up the middle for Maple Mountain, a double play depth with Polson and Colton Hamilton. Green kicks and delivers home, and that one's inside for a ball, and it's 1-2. Blake Lasike in the on-deck circle for the Timberwolves. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Green kicks and delivers home. That's a breaking ball. It sits beautifully on the outside corner, and it evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Outfield playing straight away. Wixom almost in right center field. Hall in dead straightaway center. Cannon Minor playing a little bit more over towards the line. And not too far over, but maybe a little bit typically over. Or at least that's the way I could see it from my vantage point here. And that one's going to be swung on, grounded up the middle. Hamilton's going to have to take it himself. He touches second for 1. Throw to first is high. And it looks like the ball trying to see if it got out of the play. And right there, they're going to say Colton Hamilton didn't even touch second base. They're going to say that he was close because the guy came sliding in and Hamilton just didn't quite get there. So his throw overthrew the first baseman. And so now a couple of men on once again here. And now that's going to bring up Blake Lasike. So a couple of men on, 1 out, and Quinn Green now finding himself in a little bit of trouble as Lasike will come in. We'll see here how Timpanogos wants to play this. I would not think they would lay down a bunt here, but you never know. Lasike kind of looking like he might square around. You would think here down by 6, you wouldn't necessarily do that. And there's a pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. You could. I mean, I'm not saying it would be a bad idea, in my opinion, to do it. I mean, you could, trailing by 6, move a couple of runners over. You have Cornish, who got on last time, on deck, but we'll see here exactly how Timpanogos wants to play this with a couple of men on with 1 out. Green will take a step off the mound here. Now, we'll have a quick pause here in the bottom of the 5th inning here at Timpanogos High School, where it's Maple Mountain 8 and Timpanogos 2. No balls and a strike. Green sets, kicks, and delivers home. And that one's tapped to foul there by Lasike, and it's 0-2. Lasike back in the 4th had a single, also grounded out back in the 2nd. So a good couple of decent at-bats, including that base hit for Lasike. Quinn Green looking to try to get him here. Get the 2nd out of the inning. He'll step in, working from that far left side of the rubber. Takes a look over at first base. Runners get their lead. Infield, a double play depth. The delivery comes. Lasike swings and misses, and it's strike 3. So the 2nd strikeout for Quinn Green comes up big there, the 2nd out of the inning, and now that brings up Tyler Cornish. Cornish will come set on the day, reached on a fielder's choice, and grounded out to 3rd. So now it's going to bring up Cornish. Runners sit on at 1st and 2nd. Green looking for that final out of the inning. The kick and the delivery. Breaking ball, good. Blocked by Jake Maffey, and it's 1 ball and no strikes the count. Austin Favila on deck. Top half of the 6th inning here at Timpanogos High School. Baseball season has come. Great day for baseball. It was about, I mean, I would say probably upper 60s first pitch here. Right now I'm just checking, my phone says 64. So I would say at least mid-60s here. People out in short sleeves. Starting to see less and less sleeves from the players. And now you can tell that we're getting into spring here in Utah. So Gunnar Gillespie, the left-hander, goes back to work for Timpanogos as he gets 2, 3, and 4 coming up. Cannon Miner steps in to lead it off. Miner's first pitch here. And the first pitch is low for or a called strike, 0-1. Miner has flown out to left, singled, and struck out today. Gillespie kicks and delivers. Miner swings and pops that one high up. Giving it a look, coming in and making the catch out in left field. And Murray makes the play, and there's 2 away.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the parking lot closest here to our...
So here comes Cade Polson.
There is a silver Hyundai parked forward in the parking
So Cade Polson singled and came around to score, flew out to right, and then singled back in the first inning.
vehicle now so that this person can get out. Silver Hyundai, thank you.
Gillespie kicks and delivers the first pitch, high for ball 1. 1 and no strikes to count. Jake Maffey on deck, so 2, 3, and 4 coming up here for the Golden Eagles. A 1-0 pitch on its way. That one bounces in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. First baseman, or Jake Maffey on deck, Cade Polson at the plate now. Infield up the middle, normal depth all the way around the diamond. And that one misses high for a ball, and it's quickly 3-0 to Cade Polson. Polson's has found a way to get on a couple of times in this ball game. The 3-0 pitch is in there at the knees for a called strike. It's 3-1. Gillespie finding ways to hit the strike zone. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch comes, and that one misses outside. Cade Polson will trot down to first base as he's on for the 4th time in today's ball game. Polson had a single back in the first, reached on an error in the third, singled and scored in the 5th, and then walks here in the 6th inning. So Cade Polson's been all over the place as it's going to be Jake Maffey coming up to the plate. Maffey has had an RBI ground out and popped out to short, and the first pitch into Jake is low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Maffey will take a look down in the third base coaching box here and get the signs here from his head coach. Polson dancing around at first, and that one misses for a ball. 1-2-0. Polson was kind of bouncing around and got a pretty decent lead there on Gillespie. We'll see here at some point in the count if Maple Mountain decides to send Polson. Polson a pretty good lead there. Gillespie will throw over and Polson back. I see it a lot with lefties. They'll bring that front leg just kind of straight up in the air and then decide whether to go home or go to first. They can bring it straight up as long as they don't motion home, and it's okay. Gillespie kicks, and once again going with that foot, you could tell there he just kind of brings it straight up and then throws over to first, and Cade Polson able to get back. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Gillespie looking in, gets the sign from Brooksby behind home plate. Polson another big lead. Delivery comes home, and that's going to be high for ball 3, and it's 3-0. So Gillespie's gone 3-0 to the 2 of the 3 hitters he's faced here in the inning. Gillespie sets, checks the runner, kicks and delivers home. And that one in there at the knees to Maffey. It's 3-1 as Jake Maffey there was taking all the way. And Gillespie just able to get one in there at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Gillespie set, runner gets his lead. The 3-1 pitch on its way. Maffey swings and hits that one right past the third baseman. A rocket shot that the third baseman there couldn't come up with. And that sliding head first into third is Polson, and Maffey's on second with a double. So Maple Mountain able to get it going once again. That ball was hit hard. Right, Cornish playing, kind of even with the bag, and that ball was just hit fast. You could tell Cornish kind of had to try to turn and twist his glove and just couldn't come up with it. And now with 1 away, the infield will come in for Timpanogos and try to cut that run down. And we're going to have a visit out to the mound. I'm not sure. We might have a pitching change coming up here for Timpanogos. And we will. They're taking the ball out of the hands of Gillespie. We'll have a pitching change here. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher coming up here on the Spanish 4 Community Network, where it's Maple Mountain 8, Timpanogos 2. The Golden Eagles threatening once again here in the 6th on Spanish 4 Community Network. Blake Lasique will come in from right field to pitch for Timpanogos as they try to make sure Maple Mountain can't break this one open in the 6th. Connor Ayer will go out to play Lasique's position out in right field. So some position, you gotta, one thing about high school baseball is you always kind of have that potential for changes defensively. Maybe a little bit more than you see at other levels of baseball, because a lot of times your different pitchers are also your position players. So Lasique will take over on the mound as Maple Mountain has a couple of men on here with one out. Jake Maffey, the runner on at second base. Cade Poulsen with that batting helmet off there, standing in that third base coaching box, has the batting helmet down on the ground here as they get all the changes squared away here between the two coaches. The two coaches right in front of the Timpanogos dugout, kind of talking here quickly in between innings. And it's going to be Mitch Holmes coming to the plate. Holmes on the night has singled and scored and grounded out back in the 3rd. He was up in the 2nd inning, but the 2nd inning came to he was up actually in the 1st inning. I'm trying to see it. Nope, sorry, it was the 3rd. I wrote it in the 2nd inning on my scorebook. And he was up in the 3rd inning when Cannon Minor was caught trying to steal home. The first pitch on its way is low, it looks like, for a ball, and it's 1-0 to Mitch Holmes. Holmes looking to try to see if he can't give a little more insurance for Maple Mountain, already with a 6-run lead, but wouldn't mind extending that one out. 2 balls and no strikes. Lasique set, kicks and delivers home. That one low, just below the knees, and it makes the count 2 balls and no strikes. Sam Moore on deck for Maple Mountain. With 1 out, Lasique from the stretch, kicks and delivers home. That one bounces in, ball, and they're going to say that's ball 4. So Holmes draws a walk. And now the bases are full here, and Sam Moore is going to come to the plate. Now, one thing to be aware of, in high school baseball, there is the 10-run rule that comes into effect. And so that is something to keep an eye on. It comes in after 5. So if Maple Mountain does clear the bases here and Timpanogos doesn't score in the bottom half, then this game would end. I'm explaining that in the sense it's early in the high school baseball season, kind of getting back into the flow of things here on the Spanish 4 Community Network of baseball season and some of the rules after the exciting football season and exciting basketball season which Maple Mountain had. And even Spanish Fork, both of those teams making the state tournament. And the first pitch to Sam Moore misses, and it's ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Moore singled in the 4th and then walked back in the 5th and has come around to score twice. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Lasique kicks and delivers home. That's high, ball 2, and it's 2-0. Wixom in the on-deck circle. For Maple Mountain, Cade Poulsen at 3rd. Jake Maffey at 2nd. Holmes over at 1st, and that one's a fly ball hit pretty well out to left. It's going to be a long run, and it's going to split the gap and go to the wall. Poulsen will trot home. Maffey right behind him. Mitch Holmes going to hold up at 3rd as the throw comes in, will be cut off, and Maple Mountain has opened this one up to a 10-2 lead as Cade Poulsen and Maffey come in to score. Holmes to 3rd, and Sam Moore has a 2-run double here in the 5th, and Andrew Wixom's going to come to the plate. That was just hit out there to deep left center field. It was just a long run for whoever was going to get here. And now that's going to be Andrew Wixom, number 27.
Andrew Wixom up to bat.
And the first pitch on its way home, swung on and missed as Wixom took a big cut at it. Wixom got on, reached on an error back in his last at bat. Lasique kicks and delivers home, and that's right on the outside corner, and it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Wixom. Wixom's also lined out to short and flown out to center on the day. No balls and 2 strikes. Lasique from the stretch. Takes a long look into Brooksby behind home plate to get the sign. The kick and the delivery on its way home. Wixom, it looks like he went and he did. Strike 3 call. There was no doubt about that one. From up here, you could tell that he went. That bat head just coming right out in front of home plate, and it was 3/4 the way all the way around on a swing. So that's going to bring up Bailey Roberts. Bailey Roberts on the day. That one swung on and hit to short. Fielded cleanly, bobbled, and not going to field it cleanly. Roberts is going to get him a first still. A great play there by Millett, who goes to short. And it looks like Coach Miner is going to want a little bit of an explanation as the ball was bobbled. A good hustle down the line by Roberts, and the throw was bang, bang at first, but he just didn't get him. And Miner doesn't look like Coach Miner's not going to go out and have a word. In fact, now he's going to turn and head out. So we're going to take a break here. Maple Mountain adds 2 in the 6th. It's Maple Mountain 10, Timpanogos 2 here on the Spanish 4 Community Network.
Number 15.
Bottom half of the 6th inning here on Spanish 4 Community Network. And right now, Maple Mountain in control, leading 10-2. Austin Favila, Casey Hamilton, and Parker Murray, 6, 7, and 8 coming up against Quinn Green, who's going back out to work. The left-hander will kick and deliver home. And the first pitch is swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Favila's walked back in the 4th and grounded out. That wind has not been too bad today. No balls and a strike. Green working here from the windup, kicks and delivers home. Breaking ball that just sits low below the ankles, and it's 1-1. 10-2 as we play the bottom of the 6th. A good outing today for Maple Mountain as they prepare to finish up non-region play before the opener with Wasatch next Tuesday. Breaking ball that misses, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Casey Hamilton in the on-deck circles, walked and was also popped out to second, will be coming up, and then Parker Murray. Green kicks and delivers. That one misses low, ball 3, and it's 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. Green, pretty quick, gets the ball, gets back on the mound, and now kicks and delivers home the 3-1. When it swung out, popped up. Holmes going to give it a look, but that's going to go foul. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the count goes full. As a nice day for baseball sets in here. The 3-2 pitch. The kick and the delivery on its way. That one swung on and grounded up to the middle. Polson's going to have to get there, tries to dive and doesn't come up with it. I'm not sure if he tried to dive or slide or a combination there, but a base hit there for Austin Favila. And now that's going to bring up Casey Hamilton. So Polson there, kind of an interesting, I'm still trying to think of that second, third time through my mind. I don't have my monitor with me today, but, you know, I'm not sure if he was trying to slide there with Cade Polson or dive or a combination. I think he was just trying to knock that ball down some way and just came up empty. So Favila gets on here to open up the 6th for Timpanogos. And now that's going to bring up Casey Hamilton. Green kicks and delivers home. The first pitch to Hamilton bounces in. Favila is going to go down to take second as the ball gets away from Maffey. Maffey does a good job behind home plate, keeping those balls in front of him, making sure they don't get to the backstop. But there, unfortunately, that one just kind of scooped up and went past him. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Quinn Green working from that far left side of the rubber, kicks and delivers home. Breaking ball, and that one just never broke. It just stayed up high, and it's 2-0 to Hamilton. If it did break, then it broke a little bit, but no real break on that one here. 2 balls and no strikes the count. Green set, checks the runner, kicks and delivers home the 2-0 pitch. That's high and away, ball 3, and the count goes to 3-0. So after the couple innings where he's just kind of come in and just settled them down, we're going to have a visit here quickly out to the mound as they bring a baseball out with them here, and they'll kind of toss that back over to the home plate area. A quick visit out just to kind of calm Quinn Green down a little bit. You don't want to come in, have a really productive inning, and then come out and struggle here. I mean, it's easy, with having the lead. You don't want to practice bad habits. You don't want to do things the wrong way. And you don't want to open it up for, any sort of a rally. As we've seen at times, teams are able to come from behind in baseball, and it happens. And so best way to do is just close the door so that doesn't happen. 3 balls and no strikes to count on Casey Hamilton. Hamilton's walked and popped out to second. Green will be forced to come over the strike zone here. Checks the runner at second, kicks and delivers home. That one's in there for a called strike. That's 3 balls and a strike. Quinn Green going back there to the fastball. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Three balls and a strike. The kick and the delivery on its way. That one swung on and hit out to left. Cannon Miner is going to get under it. No, Hall's coming over from center. He makes the play. So 1 out and Parker Murray coming to the plate. And no, we're not. Yeah, it's going to be Parker Murray coming to the plate. I talked about it in the game against Payson. Jaron Hall with his speed out there in center field can cover so much ground from right center to left center. You can play your outfielders in a lot of the ballparks that you'll play in this year. You can play them a little bit more towards the line and be perfectly okay. As you can see Jaron Hall able to run that one down. So here comes Parker Murray. Murray walked and was hit by a pitch today. And the first pitch is low and inside. Favila will get back to the bag. 1 ball and no strikes. Timpanogos looking to try to get a couple back here in the 6th. Quinn Green set, checks the runner. The 1-0 pitch on its way home is over on the outside corner. It evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Maple Mountain back at home tomorrow for Mountain Crest, coming down from the Logan area. And they play Friday against Murray. That would be another home game at Maple Mountain. Saturday, a doubleheader at Bountiful. The 1-1 pitch, that one's going to be swung on and grounded foul past the Timpanogos head coach and third base coaching box. Sam Moore will run it down. And now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So a busy week of baseball for Maple Mountain before they head to Wasatch next Tuesday to play the Wasps to open up Region 8 competition. And then they're back at home Thursday for Wasatch. Region 8 doing you'll see the same team in the same week at opposite locations. That one's popped up. Wixom's going to have a long run. He's been playing over. He's not going to get there. And that one's going to be making the turn. Favila, they're going to wave him in. Wixom up with it. His throw into Hamilton. The throw to the plate will be held. And Favila scores easily from second base on the RBI double for Parker Murray. And Timpanogos cuts it down to a 10-7 lead, or a 10-3 lead here. And now that's going to bring up, it looks like Ayer's going to come to the plate, number 14. And I was talking about it earlier, Wixom playing more towards right center field, had a long run to get there, and he just didn't come up with it.
Up to bat now for the T-Wolves, playing right field, number 14, Connor Ayer.
So Connor Ayer steps into the play here with 1 out as Favila and Murray trade places. And the first pitch about to come home to Ayer. The kick on the delivery is bounced in the dirt for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Ayer making his first plate appearance. Came in earlier in the game as a runner and a defensive replacement. So he came formally into the game in the bottom half of the inning when Lasique came in to pitch. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Green sets, kicks, and delivers. The pitch on its way home, chopped down the third baseline. Green's going to have to turn and quickly throw to first, and he didn't get him. Running down the line was Ayer, and it was going to take a quick throw from Green, and having to turn on his throw to first just wasn't going to get there. So Murray has to hold, and now that's going to bring up the top of the lineup and Connor Halford to come to the plate. And we're going to have a quick visit out here to the mound, and it looks like, I'm not sure here if they're trying to appeal this or what's going on here. And they're having a conversation about it, about the play at first base as I don't know if it's whose call it was supposed to be. In high school baseball, there's not an umpire at every base like you would see at the major league level, or even 2 men on the base pass as you see in the college game. There's an umpire behind home plate and an umpire on at second base. And so I think the question and the conversation they're having here is if he was safe or out. And we're going to see here, and it looks like he's going to call him out, which which now there will be an explanation here to Timpanogos' head coach. The runner still hasn't left first base, and I don't blame him. I don't think, from my vantage point, it looks like to me air beat that one out. But here we're gonna have a conversation and an explanation here coming. And that's one thing. I mean, to get the call and then to call it one way, have a discussion, and then change the call. It's a little bit different. You don't like it called one way and then have it changed. And error is going to be called out as he's gonna come off the base pass here, and so that will be the second out of the inning. So I guess a good play there by Quinn Green. I mean, he had to turn and make a quick throw, but a bang play at first this time is going to go against the Timberwolves. And now it's going to go back to the top of the lineup and Connor Halford, and a tough one there if you're Timpanogos to take. But with 2 outs here in the inning, Halford steps up, grounded out twice and singled. Halford hitting from the right side. Green set, kicks, and delivers home. Breaking ball that just misses off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Timpanogos with 1 run in here in the 6th. Murray gets bottom half of the 7th inning here on the Spanish Fork, or top of the 7th inning, I should say, here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. The Golden Eagles coming up, and they're going to send 9-1-2 coming up here in the inning as they send Colton Hamilton, Jaron Hall, and Cannon Miner, the part of the lineup that has been known to get stuff going today for Maple Mountain, as they will try to see what they can get going against number 7, Lasique, to take back over on the mound. Lasique goes back to work, and the first pitch is a ball to Colton Hamilton. Hamilton lined out, had an RBI single and an RBI double. So a good game tonight for Colton Hamilton, and the pitch on its way. Ground ball hit up the middle. Fielded cleanly, the throw over to first in time to beat Hamilton, and there's 1 away. So a good start for Lasique here in the 7th. He gets the first out on the ground out, and with 1 away, Jaron Hall is going to come to the plate. Hall walked back in the first, singled twice, and popped out to first. Hall, a junior, signed to play football at BYU. And the first pitch on its way. Low for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Maple Mountain leading 10-3. The 1-0 pitch, Lasique kicks and delivers. That's in there for a strike and evens the count at 1-1. Cannon Miner on deck. 1-1 pitch, Lasique kicks and delivers home, and that's off the plate for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Timpanogos will have some work to do in the bottom half of the inning. And the 2-1 pitch is swung on by Hall, lined back up the middle for a base hit. Just a solid hit, lined right back up the box. And a base hit here with 1 away for Jaron Hall, his 3rd hit of the ball game. That brings up Cannon Miner. So the bats for the Golden Eagles starting to come alive here the last couple of games. And that's exactly what you want, get them going. Of course, Hall and Polson getting probably on the baseball diamond a little bit late due to basketball season during the Golden Eagle run to the deep into the state basketball tournament. Pitch to Miner, and that one misses low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Cannon Miner on the day struck out, singled, and has flown out to left twice. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Lasique working from the far right side of the rubber. Hall gets his lead over at first. The delivery on its way home, and Miner takes that one for a called strike and evens the count at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the 7th inning. Lasique looks over to Jaron Hall over at first. Hall getting his lead, and the pitch on its way. Breaking ball, and that one's going to, nice stop by Brooksby behind home plate. all I saw was Brooksby just kind of threw the glove up, and it just goes right into the glove. So a good stop there, preventing that one from getting to the backstop and giving Jaron Hall 90 feet. And now a 2-ball, 1-strike count coming here to Cannon Minor. Lasike working from the stretch, the pickoff move, and Hall back safely. Two balls, 1 strike to count. Lasike from the stretch. Takes a look over at Jaron Hall. Kicks and delivers home. That one, he's going. Line right back. Lasike made the play. The throw over to first to double off Jaron Hall. And the inning's over. So the Eagles go quickly here in the 7th. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Timpanogos with some work to do. We'll see if they're up for the task right after this on the Spanish Fort Community Network. Back here on the Spanish Fort Community Network, the bottom of the 7th inning. I mixed up the top of the 7th by calling it the bottom of the 7th. And now I mixed up the bottom of the 7th by calling it the top of the 7th. So the bottom of the 7th inning here nonetheless at Timpanogos High School. Thank you everyone for tuning in today as Maple Mountain has had a good performance here on the road, leading 10-3 with 2 down here in the 7th inning. And now we'll see here exactly what Timpanogos, if they're up for the task of coming from behind, they'll have to do it against the left-hander Quinn Green. We do want to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible throughout this season and throughout our football and basketball season. We'd like to thank the Car Guys for sponsoring today's all the Car Guys instant replays that you've enjoyed here on the Spanish Fort Community Network. And then also thank MVP Sports. At the conclusion of the game in our post-game show, we'll name the MVP Sports MVP of the game, which will be right here, coming up here, and about 3 outs left for Maple Mountain to finish off this victory as Braden Millett will stand in. Green set, kicks and delivers, and the first pitch low for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. It's going to be Millett, Craighead, and Lasike, 2, 3, and 4 coming up for Timpanogos. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Green sets, kicks, and delivers home. And that one misses away, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Millett has reached on a fielder's choice, grounded out, and reached on an error back in the 5th. 10-3 Maple Mountain, as that one is going to be in there for a strike, and it's 2 balls and a strike here to Braden Millett. Millett, Craighead, Lasike coming up here against the left-hander. Green sets, kicks, and delivers home, and low, ball 4. So the 2-0 pitch that I call the strike was a ball, and so Millett gets the walk, and now that brings up Oakley Craighead.
Now up to bat.
That's good luck.
So
First base, number 3, Oakley Craighead.
So a single and a ground out for Craighead. Been pronouncing that wrong all game. And the pitch on its way, and that one bounces in the dirt for a ball. And going down to second as it looks like it gets away from Jake Maffey, and going down to second is Braden Millett. So Craighead stands in now, the runner on at second base, a runner in scoring position with nobody out, and a 10-3 game. A 10-3 game right now as Green gets ready to come set on the mound. Green, the left-hander, kicks and delivers home, and that one is low and away for a ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Okay. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Craighead is set. Quinn Green working here from the stretch, the kick and the delivery. That one's going to be swung on, and foul. They're going to say it's in play. Maffey, and now they're going to blow it dead. So it was that moment where everyone was like, well, it's foul, and then, no, it's fair, and then it's foul. We do want to let our viewers know here momentarily we'll be switching over to the Spanish Fork City Council meeting taking place tonight. As right now that council meeting will start here momentarily here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Quinn Green. Green, the left-hander, looking for that final strike here on Craighead to get the first out of the inning, and stepping off the mound will be Green. Lasike on deck. They're trying to say it's one. I think there's a kind of a,
2-1.
and it should be 2 balls and 1 strike here. Is
Correction to the count.
just
2
getting
balls,
everybody
1 strike,
set and
2
ready to
balls,
go.
1 strike.
Just getting everything all kind of squared away here. Now that everyone's on the same page, we're set, ready to go. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. The kick and the delivery on its way. Swung on, and that one is missed, and it's 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Timpanogos' Oakley Craghead. Big hole on that right side. Wixom looks like he's kind of moved over a little bit closer to that line than where he was playing earlier. And that one's going to be swung on and got away from Mafi. Throw down to first in time to complete the strikeout. So 1 out here in the 7th inning, and Blake Lasike is going to come to the plate. So with that swung on and missed, if the ball gets away from the catcher, you can run to first and try to beat the throw. And Craghead tried to do that, and the throw just didn't get there. So with 1 away, Blake Lasike is going to come to the plate. Lasike struck out, singled, and grounded out on the ball in the ball game today. Lasike wearing number 7. The delivery on its way home is going to be swung on. That one's lined pretty well. It's going to be right at Wixom. And Wixom makes the play in. I mentioned it a couple times earlier in the game, you know, that Wixom was playing over into right center field. Well, there I kind of eat my own words because Wixom's playing more into that right center field gap, and Lasike lines it almost to a spot where where Wixom doesn't even have to move. So I guess good defensive alignment there by the Golden Eagles. And with 2 down, that's going to bring up Tyler Cornish, the pitcher. And he's also moved to third base later on in the ballgame. Green delivers, and going there for a called strike was Cornish. He was way out in front. You could tell Cornish was expecting the fastball. The breaking ball came, and he just got the bat head way out in front. No balls and 1 strike to count. Green taking a long look into Jake Mafi behind home plate. No balls and a strike. The 1-2 pitch. That one swung on, lined into right. Wixom's not going to get there. Coming around third, and they're gonna hold the runner. Millett came hard around third, but the ball just bounced 1 hop right into the glove of Wixom. And now with a couple of men on, it's going to be Austin Favila is going to come to the plate. Favila's grounded out, walked, and singled, and came around to score back in the 6th. Like a couple of just kind of making sure everybody's on the same page here with 2 down. 2 umpires having a quick word. Now set, ready to go. Runners will get their lead. Mitch Holmes not going to hold on the runner on at first base. Runners on the quarters for the T-Wolves. Green takes a look in to Jake Mafi, getting his sign. Holding the baseball in his back left hand, adjusting it, trying to get his fingers on the right seams, and the delivery on its way. Swung on and hit right to Cade Polson. Polson's going to have to go the long way to first. His throw in time, and the ball game is over. So Maple Mountain comes here on the road to Timpanogos, gets a big victory, and wins the game 10-3 over the Timpanogos Timberwolves. And Maple Mountain has 1 win this week under their belts as they'll get ready to play tomorrow against Mountain Crest. We're going to take a quick break here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. When we come back, we'll have a quick post game, and then we'll also announce the MVP Sports MVP of the game here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. The final score, the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles 10, the Timpanogos Thunderbirds, or not Thunderbirds, the Timberwolves. I've been thinking all day Timpanogos, but thinking Timpview. And so the final score, Maple Mountain 10 and Timpanogos 3 here from Timpanogos High School on a day where Maple Mountain was able to get all the clutch hits they needed, and they got a good pitching performances today to keep Timpanogos off balance. A game in which saw Maple Mountain get off to that early 1-0 lead, and then the 4th and the 5th, the Golden Eagle Bats come alive. They score 5 runs in the 4 runs in the 5th inning, and Maple Mountain able to come out victorious today. They'll play plenty of more this week coming up tomorrow against Mountain Crest. Will be their next game. But we have the MVP Sports MVP of the game to announce and to give away here that MVP award. And You know, honestly, when you take a look at the game in which a lot of the Golden Eagles had, Cade Polson reached 4 times today, had that big RBI single, came around to score. A lot of great performances you can go with. But Colton Hamilton had a couple of clutch RBIs. Was able to get the RBI back in the third, had a couple of RBIs on a double in the fourth, and a great performance today. So our MVP Sports MVP of the game is Colton Hamilton. A good performance for Colton after being moved from that 1 spot down to the 9 spot, and he got that offense going today for the Golden Eagles. As victorious today was Maple Mountain, as they are huddling as a team out in right field. Victorious today. The Golden Eagles win on top. The Golden Eagles play tomorrow at 3:30 back home at Maple Mountain against Mountain Crest. They'll play Friday against the Murray Spartans at home.